for players to show what they can bring.
And our officials this evening, Jeff Wooten, Jeffrey Smith, and Jenna Cross, and we are underway. Both coaches saying that this is going to be a huge test. They want to see where they are in camp. And here is Caitlin Clark and the crowd already standing.
What an atmosphere for a preseason game.
Veronica Burton, they played head-to-head against each other. Burton played at Northwestern. She said she knew Caitlin was smart and feisty. Inside, that is the strong game of Nalissa Smith, the former Baylor Bear.
Well, I know Indiana, there's been a lot of hype around Caitlin, rightfully so, but let's not forget about the talent that they had last year and players they bring back, and we just saw that in what Nalissa Smith can do down low.
And that's the thing with Caitlin Clark coming in as a rookie. She is surrounded by good players. Natasha Howard from the outside can't get it to go. Howard coming off one of her best seasons ever. This is what Indiana wants to do, and Howard with a rejection.
I mean, Natasha Howard, one of the best things that she does is defensively, she is going to block some shots.
45 blocks last year. Clark for three.
And for a rookie, and Caitlin's a different type of rookie, right? She's that rookie that has tons of pressure on her because of what she's done. There is no better feeling to be able to knock down your first shot, especially on the road.
One of the great articles I read about Caitlin Clark, they said she has redefined what a good shot is. Look how far out she was.
Well, and defensively, and Veronica Burton's a pretty good defender, but that time Jaylen Brown just a little too late getting out on Caitlin. She does not need a lot of time to get her shot off, and that was just a great, well-executed out-of-bounds play.
Foul was on Caitlin Clark. Veronica Burton, her third year, her first 2 years, missed only 3 free throw attempts, 63 of 66. She has to show the coaches that she can run this point guard. The problem, she lacks shooting, and boy, she just got picked hard by Smith. But her defense is good, and her assists are good. Here is Clark, a little pump fake, Howard on her. Smith, she can shoot the three, can't get that one. Boston pulls it away. Boston, the rookie of the year with a left hand.
Well, again, even though this is a preseason game, you got to know both teams are coming in, trying to establish themselves and show each other what they're going to be able to do on the offensive end as well as the defensive end.
Now, Tierra McCowan, I should say, was trying to get position on the inside. The two bigs of Dallas, McCowan and Kalani Brown, they kind of have been challenged by Nalissa Smith and Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston, Nalissa Smith said, hey, we're the two best bigs. Dallas said, not so fast.
They said, hold up a minute.
Erica Wheeler last year averaged just under 10 points a ball game. She is instant energy, celebrated her 33rd birthday yesterday. And here comes Wheeler. Over 5 assists a game, or 5 assists a game last season. I mean, you think about that. 5 assists by her, and then you have Caitlin Clark, which she did last year at Iowa with assists.
You know, Ron, when it's for Dallas, they have 5 players that they have to cut.
Yeah.
I always say, try to find, as a player, try to find something that you bring that's different from what they already have. And for Veronica Burton, to your point, she needs to show that she can be that lockdown defender, and this is a great test for her going up against Caitlin Clark.
Jaylen Brown, perseverance with a capital P, gets her first WNBA points. She last played in the United States at Cal back in 2020. Averaged over 15 a ball game that season. Pull-up jumper rattled around by Wheeler.
Indiana right now, offensively, they are clicking on all cylinders. For me, I think what's going to be important is we know Indiana, they have the players that can score the ball, but defensively, can they defend and stop other players from other teams from scoring?
Well, last year Indiana was 10th in pace. Christy Sides telling us Clark rattles her second three. Caitlin Clark is not disappointed. She's brought energy, and over the last couple of days, we've talked to the majority of the team. Everybody raves about their newest teammate.
Now, from what Coach Trammell said about JC, offensively, I think she knew what she could bring, scoring the basketball. She can score from everywhere on the floor, but she's been very impressed on the defensive end, how quick her feet are, how quick her hands are, and she just steps up and is willing to accept the challenge.
Well, she had 62 steals last year at Ohio State. She does have quick hands. Now they've got to slow down this Indiana offense that has scored on 6 of their first 7 possessions. Maddie Siegrist, last year's first-round pick, also in the ball game. She is going to be splitting time at the 3 spot with Satu Sabali out, along with Jalen Brown as of right now. Boston had to put a body on Tierra McCowan. Boston picks up the foul.
Well, again, it is a preseason game, but these players are out here to compete.
Yeah. Both coaching staff have an idea of what they're going to do to manage minutes. Brown from the outside. She's got her first WNBA 3.
And one thing Sheldon can do, she can come in, she can run the point, she can create not only for herself, but for her teammates. And I just love the energy that she's bringing off the bench already for Dallas.
And we saw that with Maddie Siegrist last year. She came off the bench, had interest, and again, Jalen Brown.
Let's go, Jalen Brown. She said, y'all might not know my name, but you will know my name after tonight.
We will tell her story in a little bit, but talked to her before the game. She said, I'm not nervous. She goes, my family out in California, they're going to be very nervous. This time, J.C. Shelton on Clark. This is going to be good. Shot clock at 1. The pull up, no. And here comes Jalen Brown, just a rookie, not drafted in 2020. Enrique, no. Dallas will have it. Let's go back to Jalen Brown.
Jalen Brown just at the right spot at the right time. Sheldon penetrating, finding Jalen Brown behind the arc for 3. Not once, but twice. It's good.
She was impressive on Sunday. Day 1 of practice. Maddie Siegrist, who worked on her shooting with Athletes Unlimited in the offseason, can't get that one to go. Here's Indiana. One of the things that Christy Sides was telling us is they've got to learn how to win. Now, they finished 13-27 last year, but they were the best ever 13-27.
Right.
16 losses for Christy last year by single digits.
Well, they were in so many close games last year, but that happens a lot when you have a young team. And this Indiana Fever team is a very young team.
Well, J.C. Shelton is going to be called for the foul, and one of those slick shots by Caitlin Clark.
Gotta love that matchup. And this is just the first of so many that we're going to see.
We are seeing the future of the WNBA also. And here is Caitlin Clark. Said she tries to duplicate her game after the great Maya Moore, LeBron, Pete Maravich. I just like to say she is Caitlin Clark.
She is her.
She's her. Said she even had a chance to spend some time and talk to Sue Bird about what it was going to be like. Michael Vopel of ESPN.com wrote a great article comparing first-round guards that were picked in the first round and where they stand. Sue Bird, I think, is still will be the standard, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Sue Bird did so much for the WNBA and continues to do so much for the league.
Brown again. Maddie Siegrist tries to battle for the rebound. Melissa Smith pulls it away. Melissa, who last season really upped her game, and it started in the offseason, and she continues to work hard. Christy Wallace, Boston baseline, rolls it around. So we've got a couple of Baylor Bears on the floor. Christy Wallace, of course, played for Kim Mulkey at Baylor. Here is Enrique. Inside of 10 to shoot, Siegrist sets the pick. Enrique's got her first.
And you know, it's just a matter of time before Enrique finds the bottom of the net.
Now finished 5th in points per game last season, over 21 a game. Caitlin Clark off the mark, rebound Enrique, and that's part of Enrique's game that blossomed last year. Rebounding and assists. Very unselfish last year. Kiera McCowan rolls it over.
This is going to be a battle for so many years to come with Tierra, Aaliyah Boston, Kalani Brown, so many great bigs in the league right now.
10-2 run for Dallas. They started 1 of 4 shooting. Since then, 4 of 8. Boston reverse. No. T-Mac pulls it away. Shelton wants to push it. From the corner, the rejection on the shot. Brown gets her own rebound. Back to Enrique. Count it.
And for a shooter, sometimes all you need is to see the first one go through the net, and you know that the rest are just going to fall also. And Enrique, she is just a bucket.
That's what Krista Gerlich told me about you at Texas Tech. They wanted the offensive foul. Not going to get it. Caitlin Clark with her 3rd from beyond the arc.
Ooh. I don't know about that one.
2:40 to play, and Enrique. Both coaches telling us they want to use this game as a barometer. I go back to last season when both coaches said, we're going to monitor minutes. And you and I were talking, throw that out the window. They're competitors.
Listen, I'm just going to say it now. I need to see a game. Coach, just let them play. This is both Indiana and Dallas. Just let them play.
And the lead is cut to 2. Enrique is going to go out. Wallace picks up her first personal foul. Lexi Hall goes out, and Grace Berger, the very talented second-year player out of Indiana, checks in for the Fever. She's a player that has really upped her shooting. Wheeler lost the handle. That'll be over and back. That'll be the second turnover. Enrique sits down after hitting 6 of the last 8 Dallas field goal attempts. Sheldon. That is Sev Uzun out of Turkey. Sheldon's first basket is a 3.
That is a big bucket. J.C. Sheldon has come in this game off the bench, brought so much energy defensively, and now she's stepping up and knocking down big shots for the Wings.
How about that? Segrist and Sheldon come in. They go on a 15-5 run. Here's Berger. Segrist got a piece of it. And that is going to be a whistle and a foul. Nice job on the rebound. Taken away by Emma Cannon. Let's go back to J.C. Sheldon's first basket. Averaged about 18 a game last year at Ohio State.
Well, she's just spotting up at the right place for her teammate to find her, to be able to step up and knock down a 3.
Demi Benlay made the foul. The rookie out of USC. Or I should say third player. She did have some time at Minnesota. Whistle and a foul underneath. Opening week for the 2024 Dallas Wings season is May 15th and May 18th versus Angel Reese, former Dallas Wing, Marina Mabry, and the Chicago Sky. Both games get underway at 7 o'clock. The opener on May 15th, presented by Wendy's, is sold out, but tickets remain for the game on May 18th. All you got to do is go to DallasWings.com to get more information. Foul was on Berger. And here's Sev Uzun, the 26-year-old, been playing professional.
Nationally, overseas, they start playing at a very young age. So she's been a professional for some good years before she came to the WNBA.
Smith inside, whistle. That's going to be impeding a little progress by Nalissa Smith. Foul's going to be called. Go back to Sev, though. interesting story. She told me that about 3 or 4 years ago, the WNBA really became a dream for her, but she knew she had to take certain steps to get there. She told us this week, this is just another one of those steps to play in the league.
Well, and the fact that she understands that, you know, and I always say everybody's journey is different. For her to understand that and embrace that and find herself at the Dallas Wings training camp this year, you just never know where she may end up. Even if she doesn't make this team, she could still end up in the WNBA.
Melissa Smith finished last year 4th in the league in rebounding. Sheldon pulls away after the miss. The lead is 2. Indiana has led by as many as 11. Uzan off the back of the iron. Sheldon tries to get the rebound. Berger pokes it ahead. The layup counted and a foul.
Erica Wingler really good in transition and also understanding when to attack the basket, just getting all the way to the hole, finishing, drawing the foul, and one.
That's one of the things that Christy Sides wants to do. They were 10th in pace last year. She said, now we have bigs who can run. As checking into the lineup, former West Virginia Mountaineer in front of about 40 family members. And Katrina Pardee. She said, we've got players that can run. They actually do drills where they time.
Rebound the basketball and get it and push in transition. That's going to make your team a quicker, faster-paced team and allow you to get a lot of easy buckets without setting up your half-court offense.
And it also kind of worked conversely on Indiana last year because teams were able to score at over 70% on transition against the Fever.
You talked about Maddie Siegrist playing in AU this year. Maddie, along with Kalani Brown, and for Indiana, you had Lexi Hall, Grace Berger, Kelsey Mitchell. So many WNBA players playing in AU, but Maddie was so impressive. Being able to call the games, watching her, I really appreciate how hard she plays, and that's on both ends of the floor. She can score the basketball, but she also can defend as well.
I remember one game I was listening to you, and you said she was the most improved player that year.
She absolutely was. Yeah, I became a fan this season in AU of Maddie Siegrist.
She is an incredible person off the court. Siegrist got a piece of it. Knocked it away from Smith. Dallas will have it.
I love how she just made me look good there.
It's called doing it on cue. It's doing it on cue.
Well, just pressuring the basketball, but understanding, coming over, help side, able to get a hand on it. Nice block by Maddie.
About a 9-second difference shot in the game clock. Backdoor to Siegrist.
Ooh, nice pass by Seth.
You know, talking to the coaching staff about Uzan, just 26 years of age, said she is so smooth. Plays both ends of the floor now. Pardee gets an elbow from Wheeler. Wheeler to the hole, no. Rebound, Cannon had it, lost it. Seth picks it up. Siegrist hit one at half court during shoot around today. Couldn't do that. But the rookies have stood out tonight. Caitlin Clark hitting.
Jaylen Brown, talk about this. Well, you can probably see I'm trying to get everyone in. I mean, this is our only preseason game, and we got to make cuts, unfortunately. But those rookies, I mean, they're playing like they've been here 1,000 times playing at this level. And so I'm just extremely proud so far. We got to get better defensively, though. Coach, I'll let you get back to your team.
You knew LT is going to get the word defense in. Her first T-shirt she wore at practice Sunday was defense. Kalani's going to get fouled on the play. Dallas made 8 of their final 15 field goals to end that opening quarter. And there is a player, Kalani Brown, what a year last season. Came to training camp, played extremely well as Boston picks up her second, but it was a numbers game. They had to release her, hauled her back on a hardship. They couldn't let her go after that. She was outstanding.
Well, you know, I always say you control the things you can control. And what Kalani Brown can control is her effort, her attitude, getting better. Kalani Brown lost so much weight, and she stayed ready. She stayed ready for the moment, the opportunity, and she is right where she belongs.
Absolutely. She had an incredible year last year. She said, I had to come in and embrace the opportunity, and she did just that. Lead is 4. Here is Boston playing with 2 fouls. Again, both coaches trying to manage the minutes. Kalani swipes it away up ahead to Crystal Dangerfield, who was the creator last year. Pardee, back of the iron, no. Here is Wheeler. Might want to mention also, we just found out Kelsey Mitchell is not here, and Damiris Dantas also not here for Indiana. Here comes Arike. Pardee was one of the most prolific three-point shooters in West Virginia history. Can't get it to go. Christy Wallace. This is the Boston cleans it up.
I think everybody stopped playing because they were looking for a travel.
No, really. Boston's one of those players in the 3 games that Dallas won 2 of those, played quite well. She averaged over 19 points against the Wings last season. Tosh Howard walked with it. Go the other way as Clark will come back into the lineup.
Well, I mean, let's not forget, she is the reigning Rookie of the Year in Boston. And you gotta know, just by adding Caitlin Clark from an offensive standpoint is only going to open up the paint for Leah Boston to be even that much more dominant.
You know, you talk about how good of a passer she is, and Lynn Dunn, the general manager, who actually also was on Seattle's staff when Sue Bird was drafted, said she's got such strong hands. That is a 3 that's rattled around. Fembenle in her 4th year. Hasn't played in the W, though, since 2019. Is Veronica Burton. And Stephanie Suarez will come into the lineup for Dallas. Next break in the action. Arike, step back, classic 3. No Wheeler getting extended minutes.
Erica Wheeler is just that vet that Indiana needs for such a young squad. Just doing a nice job of recognizing when to push the ball and attack the basket, or to pull it back out and run a half-court set. She is going to be really, really good for this young Indiana team.
Well, now Indiana on a 7-0 run. They look to extend it after the miss. Wheeler, career-high assists per game, best assist-to-turnover ratio in her career last season. Clark gets away with a little push. Fall away, buries it. And a little reaction for the crowd. Wow, that's exciting. Clark is not disappointing. 14 points here in the first half already.
Listen, that's a tough shot.
Yeah.
And it helps if you're able to push off a little bit and not get called.
Exactly.
But that's a tough shot.
But Arike, she checks in with 8 points in the ballgame. Second team WNBA last year. This time the shot won't go down. Arike looks to push, lost it a minute. Arike left open. Can't make him pay. Howard, great effort inside.
Good hustle. That's the OG right there.
Natasha Howard, the 2nd highest points per game last season. Let's go back to Caitlin Clark.
Well, you know, Caitlin, she's really, really good and savvy with the basketball in her hands. And going left, she's always going to pull up for a 3. And Natasha Howard just doing yeoman's work on the boards. I'll see you, OG.
With that, we've got a timeout. 6:31 left to play in the opening half. It doesn't feel like an exhibition. He did last year, the WNBA's most improved player.
Satu came out of her shell last year, and she, I think, took the league by storm. And for Dallas right now, when you look at the pieces they have and the players they're playing without Sabally, I don't know, because Dallas was pretty good last year. And J.C. Sheldon, to me, is only going to make them a better team this year.
I agree 100%. And the thing about Sabally, you got to remember the first 3 years, I think she played like 44 games total. She was injured, and of course, gets injured this year, but last year she was healthy. But she just embraced everything. The leadership role, the scoring, the rebounding, the assist, and defense.
And Ron, it makes such a big difference when you can play healthy. You know, a lot of players play through little nagging injuries and things like that, but when you can come out and you are 100% healthy, it makes a big difference. And Satu was able to do that last season.
Clark on Burton. 8 to shoot. Suarez likes the 3. Doesn't get it. Offensive rebound and the putback.
Yeah, that's working. That's working, big girl. You got Aaliyah Boston and Tierra McCowan. What a matchup.
Suarez coming off that knee injury, her final year, her only year at Iowa State. Was drafted by the Wings for 2023, didn't play. That's going to be a jump ball. Here it is after the miss by Suarez.
Yeah, and Tierra McCowan's always going to find herself around the basket there to clean up the board.
Veronica Burton didn't see her.
Yeah, she wanted it. She wanted that one.
Howard floats left, shoots right. Rebound pulled away by former Texas Longhorn Celeste Taylor. The steal, here comes Burton. Suarez runs with her and tries to post up on Taylor. Natasha.
I would have loved to have seen Veronica Burton put the ball on the deck and attack the basket.
Oh, what a slick pass. Caitlin Clark averaged 8.9 assists last season.
Great pass.
Whoa.
Aaliyah Boston at the right place. Nice catch and finish.
Aaliyah Boston told us earlier today, she says, I just got to remember to get to the right place because if I do, I know Clark's going to get me the ball.
She's going to find you.
Celeste Taylor finished her college career at Ohio State. 2 years at the University of Texas. Then went to Duke. That's going to be an offensive foul. And that's going to be on Caitlin Clark.
Veronica Burton just putting so much pressure on Caitlin. Nice push off, drawing the foul, but Caitlin Clark just finding Aaliyah Boston dive into the basket for an easy 2.
Now 4 of their last 5 trips down the court, Indiana has turned the ball over.
But this is where Veronica Burton can separate herself from some of the other guards on the team. From a defensive standpoint, just show what she can do, what she can bring. And having the task of having to slow down Caitlin Clark is a tough job, and Veronica has stepped up to it.
Lexi Hull back into the lineup. Segrist thought she had it. Instead, Christy Wallace out of Australia. Second round pick back in 2018. Nice pass inside Smith. Smith with 5 in the ball game. Here's Sheldon being guarded by Clark, who is an outstanding defensive player. She checks every box. The turnaround, no. Smith likes to push it. She can run. On the reverse count, and what a shot, Melissa Smith.
That's tough, Melissa. Just pushing in transition. No guards coming to get it. She said, I got it. Nice reverse, and Tierra McCowan got her across the head.
And Tierra McCowan picks up her second. At the line, it's going to be Melissa Smith.
Melissa Smith, 1 shot.
Dallas has missed their last 5 field goal attempts. First quarter, if you just joined us, Dallas trailed by as many as 11. Caitlin Clark getting her first couple of 3-point attempts. And now Indy is on a 7-0 run.
Let's go, Warriors.
Well, and J.C. Sheldon in the first quarter when she came in, she made a difference in the game, and that time Lexi Hull, being the defender she is, running through the passing lane, taking it the length of the floor for 2.
Lexi Hall, the third-year player out of Stanford. She's an aggressive defensive player, and she can catch and shoot threes. Enrique gets away from Wallace. Sheldon, high, under, buries the three. Her second from beyond the arc, and then she runs down and sets up defensively. That was hustle by JC.
Yeah, great penetration by Enrique to find JC Sheldon spotting up for three.
Tough cover for Maddie Segrist, and Melissa Smith can't get it.
Well, you know, and the thing is, if you didn't watch JC play at Ohio State, you may not know who she is. Because of the hype around so many other players coming out, a Caitlin Clark, an Angel Reese, a Karen Brink, JC Sheldon should absolutely be talked about more when you talk about this class.
And she can shoot the three, as we just saw.
Yeah, JC Sheldon, defensively, she's getting it done. Offensively, she's getting it done. Enrique just penetrating, finding Sheldon from deep for three. It's good. We got a good one, y'all.
Back here at College Park Center, where the Fever are up 42-36. Now, we've been talking about these rookies that have come along on the team, Jaylen Brown, JC Sheldon, but we have a new addition to the Dallas Wings coaching staff, and that is longtime WNBA player Jasmine Thomas. You're looking at her right now. She spent 13 years in the league. And assistant coach Brandy Poole was the one who planted that seed into Jasmine and told her your future in this league could be a head coach someday or even a GM. And Cheryl and Ron, I believe you guys watched her for a long time in the WNBA. I watched her when she was back at Duke, and she's one heck of a player, and I know she'll be one heck of a coach.
Listen, I am so excited about this hire for Dallas. I saw Jazz this morning, and I said, Jazz, you look like you could still run up and down this court. And she said, I might be ready for a 10-day if coach needs me. But I love this hire, and no better person for the players to learn from than Jazz Thomas.
You know, the players were telling me earlier today that Jasmine Thomas is on them, coaching them up, but also getting on them. Lexi Hull's shot. Maddie Segrist will run it down. What an addition for this coaching staff. Here's JC Sheldon again, out of Ohio State. Knows her parents are watching and probably quite nervous back in Ohio. Jaylen Brown, off balance shot. Segrist battles, tied up with Boston. Those are the intangibles that Maddie Segrist can bring to this team.
Absolutely. Maddie, again, is one of those players that she's going to just do everything her team needs to do. Shot goes up, she's crashing the board, she's not just standing there watching. And Maddie, I think, is going to have a coming out season this year for the Wings.
Now, one of the things Maddie Segrist has gotten is stronger. You can see it. She spent a lot of time trying to work on that. She said she also tried to work on getting more and more comfortable off ball screens. JC Sheldon fouls Christy Wallace. Get your tickets to the Wings home opener versus Chicago on May 15th. The game is presented by Wendy's. It's sold out, but keep your eye open. The first 4,000 fans are going to receive a Wings bucket hat, courtesy of Wendy's. See,
Do you have a bucket hat?
Yeah, I like them because they embarrass my daughters when we all go to the beach as our family. Just embarrasses the daylights out of them.
I want to know, how does it look on you?
It looked awful. It looked like a bad beer keg. Sheldon picked her second up, by the way. Christy Wallace, another one of those players that just plays smart. She plays hard. Blew her knee out her last year at Baylor, still drafted. Worked so hard to get back in Australia, and then she blew it again. Had a chance to get to know her over the last few years, dating back to Baylor, and Christy Wallace is just those quintessential team player for you.
Yeah, I remember Christy Wallace when she was at Baylor. I liked her then and what she brought to the team, and I really like her with this Indiana team. She's another one of those vets for this team, because when you look at Indiana, they're really young. The vets on this team, Erica Wheeler, I even put Christy Wallace in that. They could be really good for this young Indiana team.
Tough ball away. Jaylen Brown, what a debut tonight. She's got 10 in the ball game. And to think just a few years ago she was going to give up the scoring. Emma Cannon trying to get the rebound. Brown runs into Wings president and CEO Greg Pivot, his wife Tara.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown, can you say a bucket? Because she is just flat out scoring the basketball from everywhere on the floor. That was a tough shot.
Did you get nervous because she was so copacetic, you know, in warm-ups and sitting listening to some tunes? But did you ever get nervous?
No. But you know, and you talk about Jaylen, it's about being confident in who you are and your ability, and it's not about your competition. Nice.
Maddie Segrist has 6. You know, it's funny you mentioned that because in practice every day this week with Tricia Trammell and her staff, as Clark can't get the 3 to go, talk about ball screen defense. Here's Clark, baseline, they left her open. Enrique out battles 3 blue jerseys. And a nice pick by Wallace. Cherry picking Melissa Smith.
And those are the types of things that Christy Wallace brings to the team. But for Enrique, her teammates should be yelling, saying something to her about someone is coming behind you.
Shot clock turned off, final 10 seconds. Clark with 16 to lead all scorers. Here is Enrique with 3. No, Clark's got it, and that's going to do it. The debut of Caitlin Clark, everything that was expected with 16. The debut of J.C. Sheldon of the Dallas Wings, everything that was expected. Halftime is in the books, 48-40, but this was a fast-paced game, the pace that Dallas wants to play. Jaylen Brown, though, big first half, standing by now with Siobhan.
Spent some time overseas playing basketball. You get that call to come to the WNBA. You make your debut tonight. What are you seeing out there in your first game?
It's a lot of competition, a lot of competitiveness. Like, I love it. This is the atmosphere that I belong in, and I'm ready to compete.
And players like Erica Wheeler penetrating, getting in the paint, being able to finish at the basket. Dallas is going to not only need their bigs to do more for them in the paint, but I'd love to see Enrique take a little bit more control this second half and look to score the ball.
J.C. Sheldon getting the start in the third quarter. Let's check in with Siobhan quickly.
Ron and Cheryl, to you guys' points, I was able to talk to head coach Tricia Trammell coming out of halftime. She says the fast break points are the difference in tonight's game. She says they're not being aggressive on defense, and she looked at that three-point field goal percentage, and she says they're out shooting us, guys. We need to get out on them and close them out on the three-point corner, and she also touched on points in the paint.
13-3 on fast break points in favor of Indiana. We've already seen Caitlin Clark. She's been playing on ball, off ball. She's run the offense at times. That's exactly what Christy Sides wanted to see from her. Dallas comes up with a loose. Enrique, no. Christy Sides also said, I wanted to see how she's going to manage the game and get people in the right position.
Well, one thing that I have noticed watching this game, especially the first half, you and I talked about the pace of the game, how fast the game is, just both teams getting up and down a lot. That's one thing that's very different from Caitlin, per se, playing in the Big Ten,
right.
Things that the speed of the game was not as quick as it is right now, and that's going to be something that she's going to have to adjust to.
Natasha Howard's passes were on mark last season, averaged 2.5 assists a game. That was off, and then Indiana returns the favor. You know, it's funny, you go back to the exhibition game, these two teams played last year. All 5 starters for Dallas played over 23 minutes. Enrique played 30. Oh, beautiful pass. Wheeler with an easy layup. She goes into double digits. Then you look at Indiana with Mitchell, Smith, and Wheeler. They played 25 minutes. And we're seeing that same thing now. People are playing a lot of minutes, even though we didn't think so. Brown again.
Well, you know, both coaches talked about wanting to play players that they're still looking at, trying to decide who's going to make the team. And for Coach T, she has 5 players that she has to cut. So seeing her rotation, seeing the players she's playing, just trying to get a feel for who do we need, what do we need, what works well together. And I'm just going to go out and say it. One player that I know, 2 players she's probably not questioning, that is J.C. Sheldon and Jaylen Brown.
Absolutely. Sheldon picked the foul. That is her 3rd. It came with a double with Howard and Sheldon. Here's Wheeler. Step back. Enrique puts up the hand, but Wheeler drains it.
Erica Wheeler, I don't know what you did this offseason, but she has come out and she is playing ball tonight.
Well, she has killed Dallas last year. She had 21 assists in the final 2 games of the year. The floater goes, but the lead is still 9. You just joined us. Indiana led by as many as 11 in the first quarter. Dallas led by 4. Smith, step back, no. Nice box out, T-Mac. McCowan averaging 9 rebounds a game last season. Watch Christy Sides on the sideline. She is intense and dynamic. Really a ton of energy.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful ball movement by Dallas. I mean, Tierra McCowan, she needs to just get down low in the paint, on the block, and go to work.
Beginning of last year, Latricia Trammell told us, she said she should be a double-double person. She was close to it last year. Smith's going to be fouled. But she really believes she could be. Now, she averaged almost 12 and over 9 rebounds. But, you know, she,
totally agree with that.
She should be a double-double.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, she had 15 double-doubles last year. That was 6th most in the league. That's Howard's first personal foul.
I think Kalani Brown should be a double-double also.
I agree. Speaking of, she's going to be checking in. Alyssa Smith at the line. 2nd pick in the 2022 draft in her 3rd season. Both years, though, she hasn't been able to play a whole season. She has had some injuries as Kalani Brown checks into the lineup. Now they're going to go the bigs. We're going to see the bigs. Sheldon went out. Dear McCowan went out. Wheeler on Enrique. Enrique likes to be guarded hard by people, she told us. Said it just gets her ready for the season. Uzan. Shot clock at 5. Enrique over clock. High arcer. Boston pulls it away. That's her 7th rebound tonight. Catch, shoot from DFW. No. Dallas will have it. That range is uncanny.
I mean, yeah. It is. It just, you know, and as a player, when you're guarding a player like that, nice back door. You're guarding a player like that, you look at coach and say, Coach, I'm in her space. I'm not really sure what else you want me to do.
I know. And her shot is so quick, and it's the same every time. Beautiful pass inside. Smith can't finish it. Howard pulls it away. And again, Enrique on Wheeler. Uzan, nice dish. Howard spin.
Oh, that's nice.
What a pass, Natasha Howard. Her 3rd assist of the ball game, and it was a beauty.
Ooh, that's pretty basketball right there.
That's her 2nd team foul number 3.
How about this?
I mean, Natasha Howard, just nice ball screen, finding Kalani Brown down low for an easy 2. Just great ball movement.
Well, she's assisted on the last 3 of Dallas's baskets. Celeste Taylor comes in. 2nd round pick, 15th overall this past draft. Basically was known for her defense in college. Nice job defensively, Seb Uzan.
Great defense by Sev on that possession.
She has such a good feel for the game.
Well, you see how she gets up in Caitlin's space and not really trying to give her any room to get her shot off. Just nice job getting a hand on the ball.
Arike, a little pump fake. Tosh for three. Uzin's going to be fouled, and she was going for the rebound. Sev got the call that she was coming to Dallas at 3 o'clock in the morning, Turkish time. She said she was flabbergasted. And she's making her presence felt. Clark picks up her third foul. We've got a timeout.
Back here at College Park Center, the Indiana Fever are up 54-50. I'm here with former Villanova women's head coach Harry Peretta. Just what have you seen from Maddie Seagrass from her days at Villanova to now with the Dallas Wings?
Well, she's really improved a lot. I mean, she's really active all the time. She was active at Villanova all the time. She was active today in this game. And she shoots a high field goal percentage also, and she's good on the offensive board. So she's actually playing really.
Ron and Cheryl, do y'all have fadeaway in your repertoire?
I think Cheryl does. I know. There's Maddie, the all-time leading scorer in Villanova history. Typical coach. She missed a one-footer.
Well, my fadeaway isn't better than Coach Peretta, so I'm not even going to talk about mine.
Prior to the break, Dallas has scored on 5 of the last 6 trips down the floor. 5 different players scored in that span. Flash can't get it. Whistle and a foul is going to be called. That'll be against Indiana.
Well, Dallas, they have just come out this quarter, and they are doing a fantastic job on the offensive boards.
Foul was on Berger. That's her third personal foul. Clark, by the way, did pick up her 4th. And that's probably one of the questions a lot of players in the league had. How is Caitlin Clark going to handle the physicality? Oh, my. Here's the story. Jaylen Brown, 15 points.
Listen, I don't know what questions they had about Caitlin Clark or any other rookie, but I do know Jaylen Brown said, y'all are going to talk about me tonight. And she is just shooting the ball with confidence. Good backdoor by Arike to find Jaylen Brown in the corner for a wide open 3. That is just beautiful textbook basketball.
And she just wanted to give basketball one more year after playing in Sweden. It's been good. She was born with 2 club feet, had to wear corrective casts as Berger hits the jumper. And she said, my mom said I never walked. I just quickly, when my feet healed up, I just started running.
Wow, what a story.
Just an incredible young person. Here is Arike with 8. She's been quiet tonight. Arike, nice pass inside. Kalani Brown's going to be fouled on the play.
That is beautiful basketball. I love how Kalani just gave the ball back to Arike. Arike coming off. Kalani not staying at the high post, diving to the basket, able to draw the foul.
Taylor picks up her first. We got a quick second. We want to pass our condolences on to our outstanding producer for the last 8 years, Bob Steinfeld. About an hour before the game, got a call that his mother-in-law had passed away. He is not producing tonight. John Jagu has had to step in. But Sarah and Bob, our thoughts and prayers are with you. We miss you, my brother.
That's tough. Bob, you are definitely in our thoughts and prayers.
And that is good defense. Okay, so you challenge players like Sev. You challenge players like Jaylen Brown. They're stepping up to the challenge so far, both of them.
Absolutely, and we talked about that in the beginning, like what is it that you can bring to this team that will separate you from everyone else? And I know these players, they definitely have gotten the eye of Coach Trammell in this game.
Dallas on an 11-3 run. We're going inside of 3:20 to play in the third. Shot clock at 6. Brown from downtown can't get it.
Ooh, it looked good.
Benley with the rebound. Great international career for Temi. Wheeler played a lot of minutes, tried a little French pastry. Shot clock at 3. Over Kalani Brown, no.
And Sev has been very impressive this third quarter.
Beautiful pass inside. The foul's going to be called, but Sev again threading the needle.
Just keeping her head up. Kalani Brown doing a really nice job running the floor, and Sev, nice pass to find big girl running the floor. That's a beautiful pass, right on the money. All she has to do is just catch, turn around, and finish, and she's able to draw the foul.
Kalani Brown played a half a season in China, came back to the States. Get ready for this year.
Okay, Ron, you might not appreciate this, but others will. Kalani Brown's hair tonight is so cute. It is so cute.
I got 2 daughters.
Would your daughters wear this style?
I don't have any idea.
You don't know?
I gave up on that a long time ago.
It's so cute.
I think I could pull that off.
No, sir.
So we are tied at 56. .235 to play in the third. Berger. Arike on her. Now they switch with Howard. Arike mismatch against Smith. Smith can't take advantage of it. Tasha Howard knocks it out. If you're a kid who loves hoops, the Dallas Wings Youth Kickoff Clinic is just for you. The Wings Camp is open for kids 7 through 14 years old. It'll take place on Monday, May 27th at Grand Prairie Family YMCA. It's only $40. You'll get a ticket to a Wings game, prizes, and more. Visit DallasWings.com for more details. Taylor out front. Back Benley on the drive, has it knocked away by Kalani Brown.
Dallas, they have definitely picked up their defense this quarter.
And with 2:13 left. Turnaround Smith. Howard got her on the arm. Wow.
Ooh, no, Tosh was like, I don't know, ref.
Howard picks up her second. And you or I were on the conference call with Sue Blau, does a great job with officiating in the WNBA. And that was one of the things they talked about. You know, there's the high five where you just kind of get them after the shot, but I think that probably was a foul.
You do?
Yeah.
But it wasn't even a high five. It was a ball.
Maddie Siegrist is going to come back into the lineup. Also checking back in, Emma Cannon. One of the consummate team players that the Dallas Wings signed in the offseason. Kalani's going to get a little bit of a break. And here is Nalissa Smith. .13 for Smith in the ball game to go along with 3 rebounds. Does a great job from the free throw line. Maddie Siegrist, the rim wasn't round enough. Taylor up ahead to Caldwell. Off balance, taken away, Brown. 3 on 2 if they hurry. Brown, pull up, 15, got it! My goodness!
That is JB. That is not Jaylen Brown. That is JB. Let's go. I love to see it. Just opportunity, and she is making the most of this opportunity.
7 in the quarter for Jaylen Brown, and Emma Cannon, nice defense, but commits the foul. Take a look at Brown.
Just pushing the ball in transition. Nice little hesitation in and out. Pull up, jumper. It is good. JB, we see you.
You know, we talked about the club fee, but you got to go back to her senior year in high school. She tore her ACL, her meniscus, compressed cartilage artery.
Wow.
And then she doesn't get drafted, goes overseas, I tell you, this is an incredible moment for him.
Wow. I mean, opportunity, yes, but a true story of just perseverance and never quitting and never giving up regardless of your circumstance. And she is right where she is supposed to be in this moment.
Smith gets the second, Indiana by 2. Inside of 1:25 to play in an entertaining exhibition game. Christie Sides wants the defense to move. That was their Achilles heel last year. Sides telling us last season, don't talk about my offense, my defense is terrible. And Enrique throws it away.
Well, Enrique's trying to find the hot hand, and that hot hand is JB. JB's doing the right thing because Enrique is going away from her. JB's trying to fill to the top of the key. Instead, Enrique's thinking my shooter's going to be either on the opposite wing or corner, and just turn the ball over.
12 turnovers for the Wings. Hand off to Caldwell. The turnaround drops it down. She played for the London Lions.
That's nice, Teamy.
Now playing for the Indiana Fever. Uzin. Cannon on the drive, and she has it rejected by Fagbenle.
Fagbenle. I like that.
Started her career actually at Harvard, then went to USC. Has played 61 games in the W. The most she played was way back in 2018 when she played 30. Brown almost got the and one. Well, I think you and I both expected that to go
I did.
down.
I surely did. I like the confidence that she's playing with also. Like, she looks like she's been here before. She looks like she belongs. Just so excited for this young lady.
Jaylen Brown. Been the surprise this year.
Wow.
This probably doesn't surprise the coaches. 11-second difference, shot of the game clock. 26 to play in the quarter. Indiana by 2. Berger tries to make it 4. Brown pulls it away.
Come on, JB. She's just doing it all right now.
Caitlin Clark has played 5 minutes here in the third quarter. Again, both coaches were going to manage minutes of a number of the players. Burton to Segrist with 1. Maddie floats it. Can't get it. Dallas, though, outscores Indiana in that third quarter, 20-14. Jaylen Brown, what a third stanza, Cheryl.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown has been impressive, and as you said, she's probably not surprising the coaching staff. But Jaylen Brown, I see you, I hear you. We all are seeing what you can do, and Jaylen Brown has the Dallas Wings right back in it. This kid is good.
Welcome back inside the College Park Center. Ready to start quarter number 4. Dallas trails by 2. And Siobhan caught up with Latricia Trammell just a moment ago.
14 in this third, and so we got to really make a big punch right here in the start of the fourth.
And my last question is, any chest bumps for Jaylen Brown in your
Get her, set it down, pray.
All right, we've got a dandy. Caitlin Clark played 5 minutes in that third quarter for Indiana, only took 1 shot, did not score. Both teams going with what we would consider second teamers. And the turnover. Brown takes it away.
Let's go, Wings.
Here McCowan back in. Enrique with 5 on the shot clock. Works on Berger. The shot, she wanted the foul, not going to get it. Smith pulls away the rebound. And the steal. Here comes Enrique. On the drive, count it.
Yeah, Enrique was not too happy about that last call that she didn't get, turning up the defense. I see you, Enrique.
I mean, you look at Enrique last year, 68 steals. She is very good defensive player. Worked hard on it last season. And Indiana increases the lead to 2. 64-62. Here is Brown. Lobs it inside. Tierra McCowan, nice job trying to keep Smith off her shoulder, and Sexton.
Yeah, Enrique just picking up Grace Berger at half court, getting the steal, able to take it and finish for 2.
Dallas will have it. Trying to knock this game up. The only exhibition game for the Dallas Wings. Indiana will have one more. Brown with 3. A little hand-to-hand combat in the post, and Tierra McCowan's going to be fouled.
Well, and Dallas got lucky on that one because I see where Jaylen Brown is trying to go. Tierra McCowan with Victoria Saxton Gardner on the block. That should be an advantage for Dallas. But JB needs to get a better angle to throw that, try to get that pass into Tierra.
And Dallas with a chance to tie it up or even take the advantage. Natasha Howard, yes, for the three. Dallas has the lead.
Natasha said, I can still shoot that thing.
Now she had 19 made threes last season. Caldwell to hesitation. Correa, no. Alani Correa, the rookie out of Florida. Poor Tierra McCowan was way deep.
Yeah. Well, there's not much Saxton can do with that. And Natasha Howard just doing what she has always done. That is stepping up, knocking it down.
Howard had an incredible season last year, career high best assists per game. But the big game for her was versus Las Vegas. She had 32 and 10 in that contest. In the game that Dallas beat Las Vegas, Patricia Trammell and I were talking about it the other day. She says, I think that may have been the turning point of our season. Our players realized we could play with the big teams. Into the hands of Uzun. Brown. Quickly getting it into Howard. Goes one way, goes the other, can't get it. Correa with the rebound. Caitlin Clark set to check back into the lineup for Indiana. Here's Berger. Enrique, that's hurt. I saw that coming. You saw the hand on the back on that one. That is Enrique's third personal foul. Clark coming back into the lineup. Clark with 16 points, a couple of rebounds, and an assist today.
Well, Caitlin didn't play much that third quarter because she picked up her 4th foul. So Coach Sides was like, need you to sit down just for a minute.
Nice reverse, no. Tierra McCowan the rebound. 9 of Caitlin Clark's 10 field goal attempts have been from beyond the arc. She's made 4 of them, by the way. Dallas with the advantage. Boy, again, McCowan has the post covered up. Brown has it poked away by the quick hands of Erica Wheeler.
Yeah, and I wish Tierra would have just stayed on ball side on the block and post up because JB was absolutely looking to go inside to big girl.
Shot clock at 4.5. Howard will trigger it in. Enrique wanted it, got it. Pump fake, no. Offensive rebound. No basket. Foul before.
Was that, he called a jump ball?
A jump ball, I think, yeah.
Okay.
And it's going to be a jump ball. Take a look at it, maybe we can figure out why.
Oh, I think Victoria Saxton had a lot of ball, but someone else kind of had a lot of forearm.
You know, you look at Victoria Sexton in her second year, she's competitive, but she was one of 5 drafted in the 3rd round last year that was still on the roster at the end of the year. She did a nice job last season. Deep in the corner, no. Tiara McCowan pulls down the rebound. That is her 10th. I tell you, T-Mac getting some minutes too. She's up to 18. Enrique's played 30. Brown and Howard both plus 20. And that's going to be out. Stephanie Suarez will come into the lineup for Dallas. We got a timeout. The Wings lead it by 1. We'll introduce you with the newest member of our broadcast team after the break. Welcome back inside the College Park Center. Want to introduce again our semi-newest members. Did games with us last year. Fran Harris will be joining our broadcast team this year, along with Cheryl Swoops and the Hall of Famer Nancy Lieberman. And we want to wish the best to our colleague for the last 8 years, Reagan Peebly, now with the LA Sparks as general manager. Good to have you back again, Fran.
Good to see you. Hey, Cheryl Swoops.
What's up, Fran Harris?
But we got a Texas Tech and a Texas thing going on here.
Might get crazy.
We like each other now. We didn't back then.
That's
but,
good.
Ron, I'm starting to not like her because she got my comfy chair over here.
Okay, yeah, I know. Now, there's a standing rule, and you can call Coach Peebly. You got to give me M&M's during games.
Oh, okay.
You know that.
I knew that.
Yeah,
Plain or peanut?
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You know.
All right, I got you.
Fran, your thoughts so far on this game and the play of Caitlin Clark?
Listen, early in the first half, it felt like a playoff atmosphere.
Right?
I mean, what is going on? This is feeling like it's down to September or October. Great competition at this point.
I was tired. I was like, I need a water break.
Yes, absolutely.
Here is Caitlin Clark. They jumped out on her with Tiara McCowan. That is a huge mismatch.
Number 15, Tiara McCowan.
How about this?
Squad.
The Houston Comets. Let's see. Okay. I know 2 of you.
Yeah,
I know the legend Van Chancellor, former broadcast partner.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a pretty good team.
That was pretty. It was
What
pretty
made
decent.
that team so good, you two? Outside Clark again.
Is that Clark? I looked off.
I know. I looked off too. So I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
It was
Yes.
5 of 10 from beyond the arc. Caitlin Clark, 19.
Stop it, Caitlin.
Brown tries to match. No. Clark the rebound. They've got numbers, and she will wisely hold it up. That quick pass. Suarez picks it off. And the foul's going to be on Wheeler. Now, since you both turned away, we'll show you a replay. How's that?
Well, I heard the swish, but I didn't know who it was. But that is absolutely what she does from deep.
All day long, my brother is sitting with me, and he said, she just changed uniforms. Like, it's the same thing, same dangerous player that's changed uniform, went from black to navy.
Obviously, you both were in the WNBA. How long before there's a book? I mean, we have the book from college on Caitlin Clark. How long before they say, okay, we've got to do X, Y, and Z defensively? I'll start with you, Cheryl.
We've got to do X, Y, and Z defensively on Caitlin?
Yeah, I mean, when do they start understanding more about her?
Oh, no, now. No, seriously, so here's what I think. The championship game, even the semis, with the way UConn and Mika Mule defended Caitlin, and then with South Carolina, Raven Johnson, I thought they kind of had the blueprint, right? When she's going right, this is what she wants to do. When she's going left, this is what she wants to do. I think the only difference will be she will have more of that type of defense on a nightly basis versus just in the championship game.
Yeah, and I agree. I think bigger, faster, stronger, better is what she's going to see every night. You know, she may have gotten that kind of defense in the playoffs in the NCAA tournament, but every single night, every arena she goes to, she's getting bigger, faster, stronger, better ballers.
Tiara McCowan picked up her 4th personal foul, by the way. I mean, you look at Aaliyah Boston, for instance. Last year, at the beginning of the year, she played a lot of one-on-one. People started to figure out how to defend her. And then Aaliyah Boston, to her credit, became a pretty good passer, which is her goal this year to become even better.
Well, that was one thing I talked to Aaliyah about earlier. So when you come into the W, players are going to respect you, but players are also going to go at you.
Right.
And I think with Aaliyah last year, and to all of her credit, she came in, she did what she was supposed to do, but you have to know you have to get better. Because players are now going to understand your game, what you do, so you have to find ways to get better every single year.
And that's Caitlin, too. She's got to go deeper in her bag. She's got to figure out what else she has in that arsenal and that toolkit to get past some of these great defenders that are sometimes going to be 6'3", 6'4".
Oh, slick pass from Clark on the inside. And that's one of the things General Manager Lynn Dunn was talking about. Caitlin Clark's hands are strong and good. She can make a pass, but make it hard.
Yeah, that's the part of her game that people say that folks are underestimating. Caitlin Clark has that shot, but she's one of the best assist women in the WNBA. Looking forward to seeing her the rest of the season.
We got a timeout with 3:51 to play. We'll be back to Arlington after this. I want to thank Fran Harris for stopping by. You'll be able to see her throughout the season along with Nancy Lieberman and, of course, Cheryl Coop, who joins us now. I think the young ladies that are in attendance tonight have gotten exactly what they came to see. Caitlin Clark shining.
Well, I think they got good basketball. They may have come to see Caitlin, but they got a great show from J.C. Sheldon, from Jaylen Brown, and we still have 3.5 minutes to go in this game.
Let's see who gets the minutes. They allow, again, Kalani to repost Boston. A piece of it. Kalani continues to work, and a foul is going to be called. See, that is something that the great Hubie Brown taught me. If some post kicks it out, let him repost again and get it back down in there.
Yeah, well, because sometimes it's not going to be there on that first play, right? Sev doing a nice job of finding Kalani. Kalani stays with it. I would have loved for her to maybe kick it out, even though I thought she got it. I thought it was a foul.
I thought it was a foul, too. I think Jenna Cross is going to talk to him about that. Sellout crowd on hand tonight. Now they're going to talk about it. We both thought it was a foul. And they're going to say, no, it was a D to jump ball. Again, the Dallas Wings will be making probably 5 cuts tomorrow. I want to say probably, because they have time. Ball bounced around into the hands of Clark. The lead is 3. Indiana has led by as many as 11. The biggest lead for the Wings, 4. Clark from way downtown. The scoop and the score for Erica Wheeler.
Erica Wheeler has looked really good in this game tonight. Dallas needs to get back to playing that defense that they played in the third quarter.
Natasha Howard launches and rolls over the 3. Her second of the ball game.
This is when the OG shows up. Natasha Howard said, hold on a minute, y'all.
This is where the players are saying, this is not an exhibition game. We want to win.
Absolutely.
Wheeler. Now they have to switch, and that's going to be a foul on Enrique. A little bit of a hook on Boston. Let's go back to Flash.
Well, Sev doing a nice job of finding Natasha Howard just wide open from behind the arc. Not really sure what kind of defense that was that Indiana was playing, because Natasha Howard has proven she can knock down that shot.
Well, it's the kind of defense that'll make Coach Sides go nuts. Brought her in to build culture, to build defense. Christy Sides has done an outstanding job. Finished her collegiate career playing at Louisiana Tech in Ruston. 2.5 left in the ball game. Clark. Nice feed, Boston to Smith. Rejected. No. Brown thought she had all ball.
Oh, I don't know. JB. Great ball movement by Indiana. Aaliyah diving, finding. Oh, I don't know. Jada looked like she got that up top.
Dallas is going to challenge it. So they're going to go over and take a look at it and see if that was indeed a block with 2:19 to play in the ball game, and it's just a 2-point lead. Everybody's staring up at the big board here at the College Park Center.
Well, Jaylen Brown absolutely was like, oh no, that was all ball rap.
Okay, we're going to give you a couple of different looks. Here's from up above.
I think it was on Natasha Howard.
Yeah, that may have been.
I don't think it was on Jaylen Brown. Natasha Howard did foul her before. Right? Oh, you kicked it from that angle.
They got a little body there. Now they're going to take a good hard look at it. One more look at it will get you another angle.
I thought Natasha may have gotten her first.
This is a little bit different angle. No, if it wasn't Natasha, that looked pretty clean to me.
Yeah. If it wasn't Natasha, that angle looked like JB got all ball.
Veronica Burton got the start at point guard this season in her third year. Did a good job at the beginning of the ball game. But again, both coaches saying we've got to evaluate players. Yes, we want to win. As we look at it one more time.
That's Natasha Howard. I think Natasha got her on the face.
It's just hard to tell on that angle if Tosh got her. Both Christy Sides, Latricia Trammell talking about how this is a big test to see where they are. Kind of a barometer game where you are in camp, is it not?
Oh, absolutely it is. And, you know, it's different for Dallas. You know, they only have one preseason game. And it's one thing to evaluate talent in training camp and practice against each other. But the way you can really evaluate that talent and figure out what you need, what you're missing, who you want to keep is when you're going up against someone else.
The challenge is unsuccessful.
The Dallas challenge is unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful. She loses her challenge, and she has no more challenges on that.
So LT loses the challenge, no more left. Jaylen Brown and Enrique still pleading their case for their head coach. I love it. And at the line, it's going to be Nalissa Smith. Look at this Indiana team. The culture, night and day from 2023. Started to build it during the season. This year, players stayed around. They worked out. This is a good, solid core of players for Indiana. Second youngest team in the league last year.
And this is all.
Miras Dantas not playing. Katie Lou Samuelson tweaked an ankle. 20 for Smith. Enrique, yes. 14 for Enrique.
It's so pretty.
2 minutes.
Go inside of 2 to play in the ball game. Boston, Kalani Brown kind of got turned around, but got the loose ball into the hands of Sev Uzun, the 26-year-old rookie out of Turkey. Second Turkish player to play in the WNBA.
Oh, Natasha Howard. Caitlin Clark on the block. You got to get it to her.
2 to shoot. Brown's going to be fouled by Lexi Hall.
No shot. The foul was on the floor.
Yeah, there was an open player down there.
Well, Natasha Howard saw the mismatch, so she was trying to get down to the block. But Jalen Brown, who I'm not mad about it because she has had the hot hand.
For Caitlin Clark. On top to Arike. Tosh was open underneath with 5 to shoot. Arike, the floater, baseline, got it.
That's tough, Arike. And she's looking for the foul.
Arike's got 14, knots it up at 76.
I mean, well, you knew Arike was going to work with the ball in her hands. That is tough. Nice little one-footer runner, fade away.
Here is Clark. Told us today she's grateful for having the opportunity. She loves all the activity she's had. And the hoopla for 3. No. Smith tried to take it away from Howard. 34 seconds to play in regulation. Clark on the drive, and she is going to have it knocked away. No foul. That was a block. Welcome to the W.
Well, Natasha Howard has been patrolling the paint all day. That might have been off of Caitlin's head. Seriously.
It was. It didn't look like it was.
But they gave it to Indiana.
Yeah. Well, Natasha's making her case.
Well, Natasha has patrolled the paint the whole game today.
As she said, her parents are going to be watching on TV. They might be nervous. Here it is again.
It's a great block by Tosh.
Looks all ball to me. They'll have 2 to shoot. 26.7 left on the game clock. What I liked about Caitlin Clark today, the way she handled the media was so impressive. She said the pressure has always been there, but she's just going to go about things the way she always has. So let's talk about this. 26.7. They have 2 to shoot. Give us some strategy.
Okay, so it's Indiana's ball, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you can never go wrong with throwing some type of a lob inside to Aaliyah Boston, Melissa Smith. 2 seconds on the shot clock. There's enough time for a catch and shoot.
Well, Dallas will get the ball back, but they are now out of timeouts. No challenges remaining. Indiana still with 1 timeout left. Clark will trigger the inbounds pass.
Some kind of lob to the basket.
Tried to sneak it inside, taken away. Uzun had it, shot clock goes off. Or did they call a foul?
Shot clock violation.
And it was a shot clock violation. I was watching Latricia Trammell. She didn't seem happy.
Which time?
Yeah. So Dallas will have it with 23.4 left in regulation. Check that 24.7. They added a second.
Good D by Seth. Okay, are we going to overtime?
Well, we might. Now look at Patricia Trammell. What a job she did last year. And what stood out off the basketball court for the Dallas Wings last season, the players loved the coaching staff, starting with LT.
Well, LT came into the Dallas Wings organization, and she understood what she kind of wanted the identity of the team to be. And what I love is how the energy that she brings and how she just gets in there with the players. And the players have so much love and respect for her that they want to play hard for her. They want to win for her. And the season they had last year was very impressive. But I look for Dallas to not only do what they did last year, but possibly even more.
And Christy Sides now team has to go on defense. Again, Dallas, they gave Dallas a timeout back. So both teams have a timeout remaining. Here is Caitlin Clark. Started out with a fury. It's just invigorating the crowd.
We know there are lots of fans in the arena with their number 22 Iowa Caitlin Clark t-shirts on, and she did not disappoint those fans that came to see her. And what a great night for not only Caitlin in Indiana, but for JC, for Jalen, for the Wings. And when you look at the fans and the environment and the atmosphere, it is so electric in this arena for a preseason game.
It is loud. Seb Husen will inbound the ball for Dallas. Jalen Brown on there with Howard, Kalani Brown, and Arike. Kalani trying to get position on Boston. Arike will hold it up. Now with 10, Arike moves. Arike on Hull. Arike, step back for the lead. Got it! Arike, 9 points in the fourth quarter.
Listen, Arike, I see you. That is a nasty little hezzy crossover step back, nothing but net. Well, he got a little bit of rim, but this shot right here, oh, that's tough.
Oh, that's nasty. That is just sick. We've seen it happen time and time again with Arike here in Dallas.
My goodness.
No
you know
surprise.
what? That wasn't sick. That was stanky.
Got to get another look at that with just 3 seconds left.
You talk about being confident in just your game, your shot. Yeah. It didn't really matter how she shot the ball the whole game. Was there ever a doubt or a question who was going to have the ball in their hands and take the shot at the end of the game?
Watched her this summer work out here at the College Park Center in the practice courts. Intense workouts every week for Arike in the offseason. She is focused. She's the hardest worker in practice. Pays attention to everything going on for this team. So now will Clark get it with 3?
Well, so J.C. Sheldon back in the game for defensive purposes on Caitlin Clark now.
Hull will trigger it. Looking for Wheeler. Got it with 2. Shot at the buzzer. Not going to do it for Caitlin Clark. Arike Ogunbowale with the game winner. Caitlin Clark not able to get the shot that would have given them the lead. And Dallas, in their only exhibition game, they win the final 79-76. Caitlin Clark, by the way, still an impressive evening. 21 points, 3 rebounds, a couple of assists. But Arike really showed us that she is the Dallas Wings.
So Arike showed us that she is her. I see you. What a shot.
So a lot of smiles, and for good reason. But you have to talk about the game that Caitlin Clark had. She didn't get the last shot, but she showed us everything that we thought she would have.